Hey guys, what's up? It's Julia here. Today I'll be showing you a quick introduction to watercolour and a few tips and tricks to get you started. Firstly, you'll need some watercolour paper. I like to use 100% cotton Arches paper. The one I use is 300 GSM hot press, but you can use any watercolour paper for this tutorial. Next, you'll need some watercolour paints. Here I've put all of my tubes into a palette so that they're easy to use. The brushes I'll be using today are Plina Bright Synthetic Brush in size 1 and Da Vinci Cosmotop Spin in size 4. You will also need paper towel to dry your brush. My first tip is shading. With watercolour, instead of using white, use more water to create a more transparent look. The more water you use, the lighter the colour will be. The more paint there is on your brush, the darker the colour will be. You can always add more paint for a darker finish. Next, you'll need to know how to handle your brush. To achieve a thin brush stroke, you will need to swivel the end of your paintbrush onto a spare piece of paper or paper towel. The swiveling motion will twist the end of your brush into a very fine point. Be aware of how much pressure you are using when painting with your paintbrush. The lighter you press, the thinner the brush stroke will be. You can use this technique with both straight and curvy lines. To achieve a thicker brush stroke, use the side of your brush rather than the tip. A dry and wet brush are two very different techniques. A wet brush meaning you have dipped your brush into water before painting. This will create a solid, flowing movement. A dry brush will hold little to no water. This will make a very dry and texturized stroke. Painting on a dry surface will create a very solid colour, whereas painting on a wet surface will disperse the colour and become more saturated. To create a wet surface, simply paint water over your paper. Then with a loaded brush, dab the paint onto the wet surface. I've added a second colour so you can see the paint easily dispersing through the water. You may choose to add more water onto the painted area to disperse the colour further. You will use most, if not all of these techniques when creating a full artwork. Achieving high quality art comes down to brush control and use of these techniques. So I hope you liked the video. Subscribe, like and follow for more tips and tricks.